you doing? And welcome to this trade recap playlist. So I put this playlist together because I'm a firm believer in it doesn't really matter what strategy you use to enter and trade the market. I found what truly matters is when you start trading the live market and all the fun psychological games that come with it. Things such as like revenge trading, FOMO, greed, a bit of patience. I've been fortunate enough to be trading now for about 5 years, full time for coming up 3 years. I found that throughout these 5 years, I've learned so much from trading the live market. And my favourite thing about trading is that I continue to learn. I've only scraped the surface, I know it. Every time I step onto the charts, I learn something new, whether it be about the charts, whether it be like a mirror into my own psyche. And I saw it as a bit of a blessing that midway through last year, I went back to week one, day one. I had no capital in my personal trading account, and I also lost my funding. And I saw it, as a blessing that now I can record every trade that I take, every lesson that I learn, not just for my own benefit, but hopefully to help you guys too. So maybe we don't have to make the same mistakes twice. You can just learn from my mistakes and become more consistent, profitable traders, because that's the plan, right? And also the good times as well. You know, there's a lot of real nice parts of trading. For now, I've timestamped these videos down the bottom with the intro, this waffle, so you don't have to listen to this every time, thank God. The actual video breakdown of the trade itself, the entry criteria diagram as well, and also the proof of these trades. I want to be completely transparent with you guys and share every single trade that I take, and I'll be taking screenshots of my broker, of my personal broker, of my STMO account and my trade copiers, so you can see that every trade that I show you is every single trade that I take. I really hope this channel helps you, and I enjoy making the videos. They actually really help me as well. And if you do like them, please give it a like, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. And I really look forward to seeing you guys on the charts. Take it easy. Bye. Morning guys, how you doing? And welcome back to the charts for another trade recap. So as per, just going to mark the high of the 15-minute time frame here of where we were looking for shorts from, because this is the next day and there's some new data formed since then. Hey, I was having a little back of my mind looking at the weekly for this trade. So obviously we're going from this blue line here. Let me just move this off because that's a bit messy. So we are bullish on the weekly, and we have got some demand order flow. But what I was looking at, just a little bit to be aware of, is that we tapped into this strong point of interest here, which is a sell to buy that flipped this strong level of supply. And when we came back down to tap it, it's actually failed to create a new high. We just wicked past this swing structure here and tapped into a very strong level of supply, which flipped this level of demand. We got a really good reaction. It was pushing down. So at the moment, even though we're bullish, this is like a weak low. Now, this is a counter trend trade. And looking at this, you know, there's no reason to not follow the trend long. But this was a little bit was making sense in my head that, you know, short's a fair one. There's a counter trend reason here to come down to maybe lower price action, to then continue the trend long, or even back down into these strong areas down here. So yeah, it was looking fair one. What are we on? Daily. The daily, I like this. I did like this. So again, we're still in this sell to buy that kind of dribbled up to break this strong level of supply. But again, this is the stacked weekly level of supply which we've tapped into, and we've been bearish ever since. And then we're in this strong point of interest here that had flipped this level of demand, which had flipped this level of supply. Flips everywhere. We had the first tap to break the low. Was that just creating liquidity to come up to be swept again? Deeper mitigation of this strong point of interest to then continue the daily trend short. I was looking at that. I thought that was pretty juicy. So on the daily, we have actually got daily demand range order flow, but yeah, we're still swing structure short as well. But again, counter trend trade because you'll see on the 4 hour as well. There is a little bit. I don't know why I'm taking these aggressive trades. You know, why not just stick to pro trend trades? I get excited. You know, I love Mondays. I love it when the chart's open, and I actually do have it on my Monday notes to just be like, you know, let's take high probability trades for Monday because you've got the excitement of wanting to be in the market running through my veins, and a bit more patience is key, which I wish I took for this because this is actually 2 losses we're looking at now. But anyway, never mind. So 4 hour. Sorry, let's get this badge back on. So we're down here at the moment. So this lovely big demand candle hadn't actually happened, and what I was seeing was we had tapped into this strong level of supply, and we should flip a strong level of demand. Come up, had liquidity, swept this liquidity, which is our first tap in our point of interest. Swept, and then yeah, we were having a pretty good reaction. But again, this is counter trend. Now you can see that 4 hour. Let me just hide that blue line. I don't know why that annoys me. Yeah, 4 hour we're tapping into levels of demand, creating demand range order flow. This range hadn't happened yet, but yeah, we come back into this range. And yeah, I was just seeing this as a sweep. And remember I said like the difference between a breakout and a sweep was a sweep is when it sweeps liquidity, mitigates a strong point of interest, and then if this starts breaking levels of supply, you know, I'm aware that this could be a sweep, and we were breaking levels of, if we start breaking levels of demand, then that's when I start seeing it as a sweep. And we were breaking levels of demand on the 15-minute. I was interested. I was interested for counter trend short. So let's go down to the 15-minute. Excuse me. There she is. So yeah, this is our tap into the 4 hour. And melting off, we broke this level of demand that had broken this 4 hour structure of supply. Then this was I like this level here of demand. Let me get rid of the 4 hour second. Where this was a strong level of supply. See that? Look, that's a real big buy to sell that swept liquidity, melted off. So I was like, this is a strong level of supply. And then that strong level of supply had a big test, failed to create a low, and then got broken. So I saw this as a strong level of demand. And then this level of demand had lots of testing going on. We're obviously getting a reaction. And then it got broken. So I was like, huh, cool. So we've swept liquidity, mitigated higher time frame points of interest, strong one on the daily, strong on the 4 hour as well. Now we're seeing levels of demand get broken. And let me get rid of this now. We created all this flip inducement. and we had this little point of interest above it that had swept liquidity, and was looking nice. I did have these marked out as well because again these are levels of demand that were breaking levels of supply. We did have demand range order flow, and yeah, we had flip inducement, flip here. I mean, this ended up being this was just this area getting flipped back to move on long, but I am aware that there's a strong case for both here. There's a strong case for supply to serve, and there's a strong case for demand to be serving. And demand's currently pro trend, so whoops, would have been better off to say that. Yeah, tapped into that. Just shut this inducement. I liked how this was an Asian sweep, and it was all good. There's a little bit of, I'll show you actually in a minute. Right, I'm just going to mark all these up because I got it up. We got 2 trades to cover. Let me go with that. So this was trade 1. Shock. We had our flip, and I saw this is a stronger level of flip with lovely flip inducement. Yeah, lovely 1 minute entry model there. We were mitigating some demand order flow here, which again is pro trend. So, you know, something to note there that this is aggressive. And then this stuff happened, and this is where a little bit of the psychological side of things came. That's a data change. That's quite a shame. Is I had this really nice refined 5-second point of interest in here, and I said if we tap into this and we get some reaction, then I'm happy to play shorts. Nice flip above this flip inducement. Good price here. Then the weirdest thing happened. Oh, there you go. There's no data change there now. So that high is holding, and the 1 minute looks like it wicks through. But at the time, it was holding. And look, smack bang in our very refined 5-second point of interest. Good level of 15-minute point of interest. 1 minute entry model. Yeah, I was happy to send it. And then, but my trading view didn't look like this at the time. Literally about, I don't know, a couple of minutes before, there was a trading view glitch. Now, all my data went really weird to the point I'll show you here with the screenshot. So when I took this, that's there, look at my 1 minute time frame. It had a big gap and all this went weird and there was no kind of order flow here. Same with the 15-minute. It was just all my drawings got pushed onto one timeline or something. And it was weird, and I had this little moment of flat because we were literally tapping in to this. And then I was looking at this on my MT4, and I could see this on the 5-second doing this little, this high holding and a big push down and a flip. So I was like, almost not clean-headed. Bit of like, I'm not going to let this go without me just because TradingView had bloody glitched. And yeah, I just quickly pressed enter. And we got a little push off. But at the end of the day, she went through us. That's the first loss. See you later, Sally. So we'll get rid of that one. And then our second trade. So really, I mean, this should have been warning signs for us, looking at this now. So now this strong level of demand that got broken by supply, making this a strong level of supply, is now getting broken by demand, which is serving pro trend long. So yeah, little little warning signs. But again, I was looking at up here. We had really nice supply order flow though, coming from all this. See, look, I even had this as a nice point of interest. Marked out. This was beautiful from back here, and this is in our stacked daily and 4-hour supply point of interest. And if you can see this little badger here, actually, let me just mark all this up. Yeah, this had swept, mitigated, very nice supply order flow, come back down, tested this level of demand, failed to create a high, dropped inducement, and went on to break. So I thought, I wonder if we're going to get another little entry up here. But we're coming up heavy. This is heavy. Yeah, I really like this. It's a very nice 1-minute entry model. Just a shame. I think it's because in an extremity of a good strong supply order flow, yeah, I think we're just too much counter trend at this point. But we can see nice chock at this level of demand, which got tested, sweep, tested, fail, tested, dropped inducement, and broke. So I was like, yeah, fair one. Oh yeah, she went straight through again. It wasn't the best. I was like, nips. Maybe we could have asked for these levels of demand to get broken as well. But, you know, as I said before, if we start to wait for too many levels to get broken, we're going to miss the trade. That's the entry model. So yeah, I was happy with that. I think really the only thing to take away from this trade is it is aggressive for a counter trend trade. I'm happy to take this kind of aggression if we're pro trend, but for counter trend, this is like what you call trying to catch a falling knife. And you know the market is going to set up little opportunities to almost trick you, if you like. You know, they're going to set these entry models up. But yeah, they got me. They got me this time. I do want to go into, yeah. So this again, the same level of strong high time frame level of supply, and this 15-minute here. I just delete that. I did wrong. And there was a bit of me was like a bit revenge tradey, and I was like, nah. This is still like the extremity of a strong level of supply. I'm going to catch this falling knife, and I'm going to make the 2 losses I've just lost. I'm going to get it back. Because I saw this really nice chock long V shape mitigation of an extremity, test this level of demand, fail to break the high, test again, fail to break, breaks through level of demand, and I saw this inducement and I was very tempted to have a look at up here. But then yeah, going on of how counter trend we are, I was happy to kind of just step back and be like, you know what, let's not revenge trade, let's not FOMO. If this does melt off from here, then so be it, but let's wait for some stronger levels of demand to get broken first. And this level of demand is holding. Yeah, went through. So I was happy to kind of give myself a little pat on the back there, where again, I think I used to really struggle with revenge trading. Is to really feel like, no, your higher time frame narrative is right and you're just mucking up the lower time frame execution. Now it's kind of like, I don't mind the revenge trading. If anything, the stuff I've got to be really aware of is FOMO, which I think is quite a common aspect of trading. Yeah, that probably is more of the counter trend because everyone, not everyone, but it's very tempting to want to be the person who calls the pivot point, the turnaround, the counter trend is like, oh, I spotted that, and then it melted. It's kind of like there's not much kind of self gratification in just going with the trend, you know. But yeah, it's a the easy road is a nicer road in trading. You know what I mean? Like just go with the flow, go with the river. You know what I mean? Don't try and swim upstream and catch falling knives and all the good sayings that come with trading counter trend. Yeah, it's a bit of an ego thing to try and catch the swing point. And when they do go, and you're like, oh, the setup was there, you're a bit like, I could have caught that. I kind of saw that, but I think it's just more risky. It's not a think. I know it's more risky. So good to play with the trend, and we're getting a little bit, taking a few hits in a row now. Let's have a little look at this. I haven't done this for a while. Sorry, let me get it on the full screen for you guys. Yep. The strike rate's to 35%. Let's go for. I really like this kind of this chart here. As long as we see this going up, I'm happy. Yeah, look, we're taking a few hits in a row here. So when I start seeing these patterns, I start just being aware as like, right, let's stick to very, very high probability now. Pro trend, strong high time frame confidence. Let's just be patient. I will say on the psychological side of things, there are parts of me still in that mindset of like the end of a challenge. Maybe like let's be aggressive because we're at the end. We got time frame and stuff. As we all know by now, that has been failed, and we're only trading one live account with no time frame, so there's no rush. It's all good. We're in the plus. Trading well. Market's nice. There's no need to try and be in the market every day and force trades what aren't there. So yeah, when I start seeing little things like this, it's like, right, let's regroup, reorg, refocus, get disciplined, get patient, and stick to high probability. Is there anything else on this to show? Where's not that? Yeah, this is when so when I last showed you this Excel sheet. If you haven't got this yet, this is where it becomes quite cool when you start building up a few trades. So we're now on this total trades, 31 trades, and you can start building some data. You know what I mean? So between 7 and 8, I've only taken one trade and it was a loss. You can say 10 to 11, let's focus on very high probability because I've taken 4 trades and that's probably one win, I think. Yeah. 9 to 10 is pretty strong. 8 to 9 is not the strongest. No. Yeah, probably 9 to 10 a.m. is strong. 11 to 12 is strong. So we can start looking at days of the week as well. So look, in my head, I'm thinking Monday is not that good because, I'm excited to get in the market, but it's not as bad as Tuesday. So today, maybe focus on high probability trades. We've taken 6 trades and only 1 win. I don't know if any of this really means much, but it's just the kind of, I like it because it keeps me focused on high probability trades. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's that. So we don't need that. Didn't take that trade. That's cool. I believe this nice point of interest gets respected. We're actually kind of dribbling off now as well. So we weren't too far off the high time frame narrative, but we are still 4-hour pro trend. I think we got bigger CPI today, so we're interested to see what happens. Anything else to cover? Any little mind things? Because I know this is more for the kind of thought processes. No, I think
think that would do. Yeah. Alright, cool, lovely. Cheers guys. I'll see you on the next recap. Take it easy. Bye. Sorry guys, I always do this. I delete my drawings and forget to keep them up for the proof of trade, but here they were. We've only got one account now, and we'll get the broker up first. So it was taken at 25 minutes past 8 at 530, the stop loss of 560. So enter at 530, stop loss 560. We had our take profit set at 410, 410, which was our 1 to 4. Yeah, 8:25 a.m. But we never got our 1 to 4, and that was a loss. There's our loss, 1%. Then the second trade, this badger up here, was taken at 9:24, 9:24, price 767, 767, stop loss 799, stop loss 799, take profit 639, 639, which was our 1 to 4. But yeah, got taken out for another 1% loss. And our FTMO, I probably won't really bother you showing you this page from now on, because yeah, we've just got one live account, which is our, you'll see that on our broker. No more challenge, not as of yet. Waiting for payday, and then we'll order ourselves another challenge. As long as we're in the plus. Touch wood. Yeah, so that's that. That's the proof. Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, so let's have a look at our entry criteria in picture perfect format for when we're looking for sells when supply is serving. I'm going to start off on the high time frame here, and this is what we're looking for when I say are we pro trend on the high time frame. And basically either on the daily and or the 4 hour, want to see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then for price to come back within our previous supply range, and then we can usually have a refined point of interest to play from as well, and that's when we can start going down to the 15-minute and looking for our entry model, and combined with our 1-minute entry model. So basically, it just doesn't matter how long this trend is going on for, as long as we see a bit of supply range order flow and supply swing structure order flow, and these lows getting broken and the highs holding, then happy to be aggressive and just continue the trend short. Put on here as well, pro trend, if we still get a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement and all that good stuff, then even better, even stronger. Okay, but just a simple pro trend, happy days. So shuffling on over to still looking for sells, but counter trend now on the higher time frame. So we'll see demand creating higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, failed to create a higher high, right? So now supply is stepping into the market, right? Comes down, test this strong level of demand. So demand's got to have a say, got to have a chance to continue the trend long. Why is this level of demand strong? Because it broke structure. Yeah, so this is a strong level of demand. It's getting tested, but still fails to continue the trend long, and instead supply breaks demand serve, and we go short. So what we can see here is on these breakout trades, there'll be a lot of stops and orders above the previous high. Okay, and this is what we call inducement. This is like fuel for the move. Alright, and when we counter trend, we want as much fuel as possible. And I don't want to take entries from the inducement, from this previous high, even though sometimes price does go the inducement, but I like to play from the extremities. Okay, so all this here will be like
any amount of time, X amount of time, this could be years, doesn't matter. And what you'll see is price action being quite bullish and coming back into the strong point of interest. But because this is an area, this is a point of interest that has created a flip between demand and supply, and it has fuel for the move, and it is like swept fuel for the move. If we get an 15-minute entry model, then this is justified as good to go for our counter trend trade short. So then moving down to our 15-minute time frame. So on the 15-minute, it doesn't matter if we're pro or counter trend, we're looking for exactly the same setup. Right, this demand order flow here would be us coming back into our pro trend supply range, or refined point of interest, or it would be us pulling back into our strong higher time frame point of interest that created a flip and has got inducement and all that good stuff. Either way, demand will be coming back into our point of interest, and we'll be seeing a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, but then demand slowed down, supply coming to the market, and it fails to create a higher high. And sometimes we can see a bit of pair price here and consolidation, whatever you want to call it, a range, liquidity being built. And then yeah, for the demand to continue this trend long, we want it to have like a chance to do it. And what does price action needs? It needs fuel, it needs liquidity. Okay, so we want to see demand sweep liquidity, mitigate order flow, and still fail to create a new high. Okay, and then for supply, which is actually now mitigating our higher time frame point of interest and our pro trend supply range, we've got supply order flow, is now coming into the market, contest this level of demand again, fails to break a high, and instead drops inducement, and then the supply breaks demand serve. And again, same detail on the higher time frame. When the market sees this breakout, we'll have a lot of its stops and orders placed above the previous high. Okay, this is a fuel. And again, sometimes you will see price go from here. Right, but you know, if it goes, it goes. It's not part of my personal edge. I like to play from the extremity. So yeah, price will hopefully come back up into this strong supply level that has created the flip between demand and supply. It has swept liquidity. So sorry, are we showing from the point of interest that created a 15-minute flip? Yes. Do we have flip inducement? Yep. So the fuel before the flip. Then are we showing from an area that swept liquidity? Very important on the 15-minute that we've swept fuel, because if we haven't swept the fuel, we become the fuel. And then yeah, we'll be going down to our 1 minute and looking for our execution entry model in 1 minute. So again, a little additional cherry. Sorry, I say again because I just made this video on demand. Would be that we had the Asian sweep. So this would be the Asian market here. Then we'll be coming into London Open, after 7 AM, and then we'll be coming up, creating a higher high, higher low, higher high, sweeping previous high, which ideally would be in our 15-minute point of interest now. High low, failing to create the higher high. Okay, so it's had the chance to continue. Now supply breaks demand serve. Okay, and we want to see this minimum on the 1 minute. Okay, we want to see a 1 minute continue the trend long, and then the shock is a change of character, a change of trend, simply where the low that created this new high is now broken. So we've got a change of character and trend. Has there been a flip? It's the same detail. I'm sure you're starting to see here that price action is fractal. Yeah, we're looking for the same things in all the time frames. And once we see that on the higher time frame, supply is serving, and then on the 15-minute time supply is serving, and now when we see on the 1 minute that supply breaks demand serve, okay, there's more supply than demand in the market, then that's putting probabilities way in our favour to look for sells. Okay, so same detail, we have our inducement, which is where the market will see these breakout traders. They'll have all the stops and orders above the previous high. We don't want to become this liquidity. We want to sweep it for our move. Okay, and again, sometimes we go from here. It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, but I guess I'm happy to wait out for the extremity. So yeah, do we have a minimum chart? Yes. Has there been a flip? Yes. Have we swept liquidity? Very important. We want our point of interest to have swept the fuel, as I just said a minute ago. If you haven't swept the fuel, you are the fuel. And do we have 1 minute inducement? And we want fuel to sweep. We want fuel for the next move. Okay. That should do it. And that's what we're looking for this trade now, to be looking for sales. Cheers guys, see you in a bit.